managed to finish 81% of his races on the podium in 2021. Still though, Michael Schumacher holds the record for highest percentage when in 2002, Schumacher finished on the podium in every race he participated in, making it 100%. Present since the very start of the sport, Ferrari takes the #1 spot for almost all constructor records in F1. It's the team with the most World Championships won, most Grand Prix wins, most pole positions, and most race entries.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Rtg Mondays here. And we are in the desert of Bahrain this evening for round 2, I believe, if I can do my maths correctly. Only on 2, and I'm struggling already, but off we go. Paul has left the session. That's not a good start for him. So not really sure what's gone on there. I'll tell you what, while we are here, I will just take this opportunity to send him an invite if he's left. He's probably having a few internet issues and that. So yeah, just gonna sort of quickly send him on. Where is he? There he is. Do bear with me. Apologies about that, but there we go. That's all done. So, well, hopefully Paul can get back in. That's not an ideal start for him. Let's be honest. But yeah, there we go, and he's back again. Once more, we have a few drivers going out there, ready to set their laps. That was who is the first to set a lap. It will be Danny. He'll be the first one, and then I think it'll be Phil as well. So yeah, let's ride on board with Danny. Why not? Or ride with Danny, should I say? Much further outboard shots. We'll get rid of that graphic. Actually, we all know everyone's on softs. As we will go for a lap of Bahrain. He's got a McLaren in Phil's, who's rather close to the back of him. We'll get a slipstream, but it will hinder him through the corners somewhat. So not the greatest plan there, but in through turn 1. Nice hairpin. Very tricky to get on the power if you run no traction. Easy if you do. Through turn 2 and 3 we go. Powering up the hill. A little bit of an uphill battle there. So second DRS zone. That's a good overtaking opportunity. Cut the race into the 90-degree right-hander. Don't run wide. Don't invalidate. And then you've got the tricky little last section. Throw the car in with as much speed as you can. Don't run too wide onto that curb or you lose the back. And then get heavy on the brakes into the hairpin. Slow it down onto the power nice and gently as you can, and then into the very tricky turn 10. If you don't run ABS, this is so difficult to get right. And he misses the apex, but it's okay. You don't necessarily need to get it. He is being caught by the McLaren, so that McLaren is definitely going to be hindered by him. But, you know, Danny is on a lap himself. That was absolutely his entitlement to stay there now. And, yeah, through 90-degree left very fast. Opens up on the exit. Very difficult to lose the power, and that's flat out into another 90-degree right. But it just goes on and on. And then it's all about the exit, because you will gain or lose quite a bit of time coming down this short little straight into the final turn. And then once again, it's all about the exit. Yet again, don't run wide, don't get on the curb. Get on the power early as you can and up across the line. And that's going to set us off with a 130.89. And yeah, no surprises, we expected the McLaren does go quicker behind. Who do we have on another lap? That was Lee. I was trying to find his name there. He goes a lot quicker, 29.6. What a lap from Lee there. That was brilliant stuff. And I think we have Mercedes at AJ. He goes 0.3 quicker. He is absolutely on it with this game, AJ is. He is very quick indeed. So he's there setting a lap. There's somebody else set a lap. Who was that? It was Creeps has set a lap as well. We're going to ride with Kingsholm, I think, because he'll be next to cross the line. And set a lap. Where's he going to put it? It's going to be P6 for now. And then, I missed because I think somebody else, that was Prof. I was trying to jump to him quickly, but I missed. As he crosses the lap, and so does Looney Man, his teammate. Prof in 5th. Looney Man, where's he going to be? And right next to his teammate, Prof takes over 5th. These two always really close. on the, I think that's Aki on a bit of an outlap. He's just starting his lap. Phil will be going on to a lap. No, he will not again. He is bowing out. Who else do we have? Got Lee. Lee's coming in the pits as well. We have an Alpine of Otto Street. I think he's about to set a lap time. What's this going to be? I think it's going to be in the 130s. Good enough for 6th though. And wow, Matty Jones, fresh off of his first league race win with RTG just last week, setting a very good pace early on. 29.1. That's a lovely lap indeed from the Ferrari driver. I'm sure he's going to be looking to go a bit further. Mark Bowell, a new face to the league by the looks of things. I've not seen him before. About to start a flying lap. Creeps is about to start a flying lap as well. We've got Ginge about to start a flying lap. We've got a few different people. I think King LGE Kingdom, he is about to start a flying lap. He did a slow lap, and now he's doing a quick lap. We do have Chuckle as well starting a lap. So a lot of people about to start a lap. Let's see, Aki, I think will be next across the line to set a lap. It's going to be a 30.0. She's going to be very happy with that. And the pin to P5. It was a great lap indeed. I think Otto Street's now split the two. Alpine's Danny as well going for another lap. What's he going to? He does improve by nearly half a second. That's good enough to see him up to P9. So that was a nice improvement from him. Who was that? Was that Paul, I think? Yeah, Paul. Sits it up into P3. 29.5. It's very, very close in that mid-pack there, definitely. Who do we have now? Mark Bauer. Let's watch Mark as he goes round the final corner. And across the line he goes. And that's P5. Very impressive lap from the newcomer. 29.793. And it's, yeah, that's a very, very impressive lap indeed. I think we're about to see Ginge cross the line. We are. And he goes P5 now. Displaces the newbie with a 29.7 as well. But not by much. It has to be said. I'll tell you what. This will be an interesting one. Josh McGill. Should we ride on board with this? Controller player, very, very quick, extremely quick on this game. I should know, I've raced him. He's a very, very hard man to match. Through turns 1 and 2, it's about as good as you're going to get through there. Break a 100-yard board or just after, get it turned in. That's perfectly done. Just not quite hitting the apex, but hitting the white line, but not the curb. That's perfect. That's the purple sector 1. Nice line through the S-bends as well, on the brakes as early as you can. Just a touch wide of the apex there, but pretty much there or thereabouts. Not going to mind too much. And into the hairpin he goes. Incredible braking performance. He gets the stop. A little bit of a wiggle of the hips on the exit, but going some good traction into the latter part of the lap we go. So apparently purple middle sector as well. Little wiggle on the mid corner, but that was very nicely collected. I'm very unfussy. Just did enough to catch it. It was very nice. And a good line through the last corner as well. Pretty much spot on. This will be a good lap, I think. As Josh McGill will cross the line, and yeah, there it goes, a 28.7, and that is how it's done from the Mercedes driver. I'm sure he's going to be very happy with that indeed. We've also had Chuckle in the meantime sell a lap 29.6. He might be a bit disappointed with that. I'm sure he would have wanted to be a bit further up. Phil's about to cross the line once again. Is he going to be able to improve this time? I'm sure he will, because he doesn't. Oh, only by a 10th. That does surprise me. But there we go. perhaps wasn't being held up by the AlphaTauri all that much earlier on. But this time he managed to pick a good bit of clean air for himself, which always helps. Who else have we got? I think Otto? No, he's not on a lap. Royal Rumble? No, he's not on a lap. Yeah, a few drivers out there. Nobody I can see on a lap, I don't think. Well, maybe Lee is. Let's have a look. Lee might be on a lap. Let's keep an eye on board with him. Yeah, 2 tenths up. Lee is on a flying lap now. 2 tenths will see him up 1 position anyway. A little bit more. He might just gain 2 positions out of it, but see whether he can pull any time out the final 2 corners. It's, looks a little bit better, pushing a little bit faster than he did last time through there. And there he goes, 29.3, 3 tenths up in the end. That's a good lap by him. Only 2 tenths off of P2 as well. So sure he's going to be very happy with that. Absolutely. Prof on a lap, possibly. As he comes into the final corner. And up to the line he goes in the Aston Martin. It's going to be a 29.9 and they're good enough for P11. So not quite top 10 for the Aston Martin driver, but I'm sure he's going to be pretty happy with that anyway. Is Paul on a lap? Paul might be on. No, he's not on a lap. He's on a slow lap, and now he's going onto a fast lap, I believe. No, Ginge saying. I think they're just going on to laps, in all honesty with you. You see, if you are watching at home, do as always, get involved. Have your say in the chat. If you have a favourite driver, let me know, and I'll try and ride on board with them for a little bit. We can have a look, and we can judge and laugh at their driving skills, as if me and you could do any better. But there we go. But no, seriously, yeah. If you do have a favourite driver, absolutely get involved. Let me know, or just if you got an opinion, yeah. I look forward to hearing from you all. A few yellow flags going up and down on the circuit tracker, but no good. Oh, hello, Mr. Jason. We have you back in the chat. I see we have you back in the league as well. Good to have you back, mate. How does it feel being back? Oh, that's a purple sector there for Paul in the middle. He's finding time as he goes down the back straight. Into the final corner he goes with that Williams, using all of the track he can. There's a good line through the last corner. He's taken a lot of speed through there. Has he got on the power early enough? Up across the line, it's good enough for P4. He has improved by 2 tenths, 29.3. Incredibly close between him and Lee. Only 2 thousandths behind the Alfa Romeo driver. And that's his teammate, Ginge, who smashes it out of the park as well into P2. Still 2.5 tenths off Josh McGill, but that's a great lap. The Williams pair looking mighty strong this evening. Crazy mate, been a long time coming. Yeah, absolutely. How's the little one, more importantly, mate? How are you finding parenthood? I have to ask. Have you actually had any sleep at all? Because that, yeah, you can say goodbye to that when you become a parent. I should know. But yeah, good to see you back. I hope, are you coming back, and will you be racing with us again, or are you just here to watch and laugh at us all as we all fail on 23? And who else have we got? Is that Flea? No, Flea's coming in the pits. We'll go back. Anyone else on a lap? Looney Man, is he on a lap? We'll see him through this split. No, he's a second down. He's not on a very good lap. We'll watch Phil there. Coming up a couple of tenths down. See whether he carries on pushing for the rest of this lap. Into the hairpin he goes. Very, very tricky corner to get right. What a lovely long depth of perception camera shot that is. Seeing him down the straight. Crazy how life changes. Mate, thanks for asking. It's really good at night. Sleeps 12 hours? What are you doing to make her sleep 12 hours? Like drugging her or something? That's the only way, surely, a child will sleep 12 hours. Fair play to you. That is, you are lucky. And you're racing Wednesday as a reserve? Oh, nice. So, well, I will see you on Wednesday then. For hopefully some pretty good battles. But, lucky you. Yeah, that's really good. Some people are just lucky they get babies that sleep really well. I think I would say I was blessed with my daughter as well. She slept very well, but she did have moments. She went through a phase for a month where she just couldn't do it. But I think you get growth spurts and sleep regression hits in, makes life life difficult. Josh McGill has just retired from the session. Okay. I wasn't looking at the screen. Maybe I think he's done that in the pits though. Perhaps he's just happy where he is. I mean, he is quite a bit out in the lead. It has to be said. I don't think anyone's getting near him. I mean, Matty Jones will got a chance of putting a few more tenths on the board as Rtg Prof. No, he doesn't. And that was his last lap time. The game was telling me lies once again. No change there from Codemasters Games, let's be honest. See a few drivers. I think Matty Jones is on a lap, so is Lee as well. Yeah, Lee going on a lap. Matty Jones, I think he's about to start a lap. Yes, he's about to start a lap now. As we go on board with him. We've also got Chuckle on an out lap, getting his tyres prepped as well. Same with AJ, so these are the guys we want to keep an eye on. Paul also on an out lap, Ginge on an out lap. That's some interesting lines there, Ginge. I guess you came out the pits rather late. And he's just trying to make up some time. 40 seconds left. It's going to be tight for Ginge. It has to be simple. Keep an eye on him as Matty goes through. 2 tenths up in the first sector. Oh, he's had a big moment as the Ferrari. That isn't gutting for him because he was 2 tenths up, and I'm sure he would have been able to gain an extra tenth or so in the second and third sector. That's all he needed to gain pole. It's gutting for him, but nonetheless, still having a good start. Where's Ginge? Ginge, 16 seconds on the clock. He is not getting to the line in time, so he will not be setting another lap. We're going to watch with Rtg Lee. Was that... Oh no, Paul's about to go over the line now. He's judged it to perfection. Rtg Lee is up, but only just by a tenth. He's going to get a slipstream off an Alpine down the back straight, or a little bit of one, as he comes hurtling towards the final corner. There's an Aston Martin on the exit of this corner, stopped by the looks of it. I'm not sure what's going on, but he is well out the way, so it's not going to interfere with Lee as he comes across the line. What's this going to be? It is going to be an improvement, but it's not enough of an improvement to see him any further up the grid. Where's everyone else? Who's ahead? Chuckle is 5 tenths up. That is a lot. That could be enough to get him into P2 at this rate. Where's AJ? He's down ever so slightly. I don't think we're going to get to see Paul Jones split for a little bit, so we'll ride on board back with Chuckle once again as he rounds the final corner, should I say. I'm losing my words. I'm getting so excited. And that is P2 for Chuckle, right to the death. Only just ahead of Ginge, but it is enough to get ahead of Ginge. What's AJ going to be able to do? Is he going to be able to prove he displaces Paul for now? But Paul is on a lap. Game's telling me he's down. Possibly is, because he's just gone through the splits. It might be a tenth and a half down. Is he going to be able to get that P6 back off of the Mercedes? Or even better, who knows? Into the final corner, the Williams goes, and up to the line. No, he's bailed on it. He is definitely down. A Bugatti is slowing down as well, so he's not going to improve. I think it's just LGE as he crosses the line. What's he going to set? He does improve by a massive 4 tenths. No, he doesn't improve. He can't have improved by 4 tenths like the game told me, because he's only a tenth ahead of Otto Street and he didn't gain any position. So I'm not sure what's happened there, but he will be P17 anyway, regardless. So, yeah, which just Bugatti slaving the way to go in the pits. But, yeah, there we have it. Chuckle steals it right at the end there. Yeah, Josh McGill absolutely imperious form yet again. And that is a pole by about 0.3 of a second. So, this man very, very quick over one lap. I reckon that Matty Jones, as we see him being wheeled away, Matty will probably be rather infuriated with that, because I think he probably felt like he had a legitimate shout at pole position there. He was indeed up by nearly 0.2 in that first sector. All he needed was an extra tenth and a bit in the next two, and I'm sure that was achievable. But there you have it. Josh McGill for Mercedes takes pole position, the only man into the 28s. Chuckle 0.3 of a second behind, but it is very close after him. Ginge taking P3. Sure, he's going to be very happy with that. Matty Jones P4, possibly what could have been, and he's lost P2 as well, so even more of a kick in the teeth. Lee, with a very impressive lap time, up in 5th. AJ and Paul 6th and 7th. Chuck in 8th. Bugatti 9th. And Aki, the silent assassin, maybe not in qualifying, but in the race, he will just keep his head down and gain positions. He will start in P10, so I'm sure he'll be looking to get some good points today. But yeah, what a qualifying session as always. And into the race we go. I'm going to assume that it is a dry race, being in Bahrain. Let's be honest, we're never going to get rain. I think it would be interesting to have a rainy race around Bahrain. That would certainly spice things up somewhat, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. That'd make things interesting. But yeah, no, definitely going to be a dry race. We're going to start sort of in the early evening, and it will get to night time by the end, I believe, as everyone picks their strategies. Obviously, the new rules where we have to wait 30 seconds, absolutely right. Gives people a chance to decide what they want to do. A minute, at the very least, is a good amount of time to give everyone a chance to have a think, have a relax as well, and just prepare yourself mentally as well for the upcoming race and for the start. Obviously, starts are pretty easy, pretty uniform on this game. You can't really gain much, can't really lose much. But heading into turn 1, what are you going to do? It's especially at Bahrain, there's plenty of opportunity to dive down the inside. Just ask Prodigy. Sorry, that was hopefully I don't upset Prod too much with that. He was very upset the other day that I dived him into turn 1, but it was a good move as far as I was concerned. Yeah, anyway, no, there's plenty of room to go at the inside, plenty of room to go around the outside, but it does become a pinch point on the exit, and as he's towards turn 2, and that's quite often where the incidents or the comings together will happen. So that's one to watch out for. I'll have to keep an eye on who makes a good start, who makes a bad start. If there's any issues with anyone, we will see in time. But what's the strategy really like? I mean, you can kind of do a soft to medium run here, but it's just, it's you are really much better doing a medium to hard, or a soft to hard even. In all fairness, or obviously vice versa the other way around. The undercut is really powerful in the game, but then so are fresher tyres later on. So a little bit of give and take on this. DRS is ridiculously powerful. So obviously, if you are slower than somebody, but you can hold on to the DRS, that's all good. But we go. So I didn't get a countdown, but we will have 5 likes, and we will be racing in Bahrain. Away we go. It's a good even start. Up front, there's that's Lee. There's an Alfa Romeo who's got a bit of wheel spin and gone off to the side into the barrier, but Josh McGill holds the line. There's a Ferrari down the inside. There's contact with Josh McGill. What has happened there? I think that was Matty Jones maybe came in, and I think Chuckle may have got rear-ended into the Mercedes, but I couldn't quite see what happened. And now Matty and AJ are going side by side, and you've also got the Williams and Paul Jones on the outside as well, who's going to get hemmed in and blocked. Matty gets pinched on the inside and loses a couple of positions. There's a Haas of Chuck who's spun and gone right to the back of the grid. He's going to be devastated with that. I don't know whether he got contact or spun it on his own accord, but away we go. Josh McGill probably very, very happy despite the nudge that he managed to stay ahead. Looney Man's had a great start up to P8. Matty very disappointed, I'm sure, to be dropping positions As now Kingsholm and oh my goodness, that is Phil's with the dive bomb of the century up the inside of 2 cars into turn 10. That was incredibly ambitious and very, very fortunate that he had 2 very compliant drivers, leaving him some space there. As Royal Rumble and Flea now go side by side. I think Flea goes round the outside, and who is that? Lee once again dropping a couple of positions. Mark Chuck, and Aki's round. That's who I saw dropping down. Aki and the newcomer in Mark Bow as well, also round. So that is disappointing. But Chuckle is now 1.5 seconds behind Josh McGill. And that is not a great start for him, but great start for Josh McGill as he sets fastest lap away. We will bring up the I'll bring up the tyre graph, but that's more important. AJ on the hards. Once again, he likes those hard compound tyres at the start. Lee's dropping positions further back. Oh, he's in the pits. So, and he gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Not good. That's not going to help him whatsoever. There's a few battles further back. What is going on here? Flea and gets past Royal Rumble by the looks of things, and Royal Rumble going to have a look back round the outside of the Red Bull. He's not giving this up. It might not be for points, but it matters a lot to them. As now Flea back down the inside. The AlphaTauri will try and hold round the outside. Perhaps the AlphaTauri has a little bit more downforce because he's a bit slow in a straight line but quicker in the corners, it seems. And there you can see it. He is so much quicker in the corners. The Alpine now wants to get involved with Creepster, but the Red Bull sends it back down the inside and he's still holding position, but it's going to be side by side into turn 10. Who is going to hold their nerve? It is going to be the AlphaTauri with the extra downforce, but the Red Bull's outbraked himself for Flea and he's gone into the side of the AlphaTauri. That is unfortunate, but I think they've both got away with it. Creeps now second, but yeah, wow, what a drama this is turning out to be. As Rumble and Creeps are now battling it out. Chuck is at the head of this train, trying to make a bit of a comeback after a spin early on. We're going to go back to the leaders. Josh McGill extending his gap, 2.3 seconds now. Ginge looks like he's been held up by Chuckle somewhat, as DRS is now enabled. Can't believe Josh McGill's pulled that much of a gap. This is looking like real life, where Max Verstappen runs away with it. Josh McGill absolutely flying up front. He has the measure on everyone at this stage. But bit of a DRS train as we go further back. No moves being made just yet. We're going to go back with more Rumble. Is he close enough to go in front of Chuck? No, he is not. As Ginge goes very deep in on the brakes there behind Chuckle. Into turn 10 they both go. Once again, Ginge quite deep on the brakes, but managed to get it stopped and turned in, but perhaps scrubbed a bit more speed off than he wanted. There's a loss of traction from Danny in the background there, but it's enough to stay ahead of Phil for the moment as we stay with this leading pack. I'm going to call it the leading pack because we're almost going to ignore Josh McGill at this point in time. I think is probably the best. And jostling for position on lap 3. We're going to go on to lap 4. Phil's is very close to the back of Danny as well, so we'll keep an eye on that too. But yeah, here's our first proper use of the DRS down the main straight. And this is where the big overtaking opportunities are going to be, because it's a long old overtaking straight. Ginge not quite getting close enough. A few people pulling out of the slipstream. Just have a look. Is Phil's going to have a look at Danny? No, he's going to decide to back out of it. But he is on those hard tyres, Phil. So it will come to him in a minute. His teammate Kingsholm defending very nicely from Otto Street behind. McLaren and Alpine fighting it out. A bit like in the real life F1. Great to see as Kingsholm putting up a stellar defence here. And that was a very, very nicely positioned of his car. But Otto Street wants to go for the switch back up the inside. And a little twitch at the back end from Kingsholm has allowed him through as well. What a great move there from the Alpine driver. Things you love to see. And, oh, that's Prof, I think, has had a bit of a whoopsie. He is rounding about. Where is he going? He's going to have to be careful not to get himself a penalty doing that. But he does rejoin back in 19th. Only driver behind him is Lee, who's already pitted, as we know. Matty very, very close to the back of Paul. Remember, Matty showing real strong pace. But yeah, couldn't quite make it stick in quali, and a bad start from him, or a little bit of content at the start. Sent him back a couple of positions, so he's going to be looking to go up the grid. We've got a yellow flag. That is Flea in the middle sector. He's lost the back end. We're going to keep with this DRS train. They're all very close to each other, but I don't think anyone's quite close enough to make a move. Maybe Paul is on AJ, because he looks like he has a little lower wings. Ginge gets past Chuckle, though. I didn't think he was close enough. I wasn't keeping a close enough eye on it myself. But yeah, Ginge gets past Chuckle, and now Chuckle will have the... No, he won't have the DRS back. Why does Chuckle not get the DRS back? They must have been dead level as they went into turn. What a great camera angle that is. Absolutely fantastic. I love that. And Ginge takes over P2 in this race. AJ doing a beautiful job there on those hards in P4. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely loving this. Because when he puts on a set of mediums or even softs later on, he is going to be absolutely flying. Certainly, although he might have to work through a bit of traffic. Never know. As Flea now goes into the pits, and yeah, I think he needs a new set of mediums on, a new set of boots. So this is the first track we've come to, and I've commentated on, or spectated on, where I think they've put some really unusual and much different camera angles than the last game. Every camera angle so far has been pretty much the same as 22, and it's been awful. But this track, they've seemed to put them in some very different positions, and I'm actually really enjoying this. I think there's some great placing of camera angles here, which is lovely to see. But we are going to watch, I think, Ginge under a lot of pressure here. I don't think he might struggle as he tries to pull out the slipstream. But Chuckle will breeze past with that stupidly powerful DRS, and into turn one he goes ahead, and AJ looking very close as well in behind, possibly looking to take advantage, but nothing doing just yet. He's quite happily playing in the long game, seeing what he does. And yeah, what a spectacular camera angle that is. Love it, absolutely love it. As they go through, nobody quite close enough for any moves yet. Josh McGill extending his gap up to 4.3 seconds now. It is a yellow flag for Prof in sector 1. He's gone round yet again, and now he has beached himself. Oh, he's got going. That was very, very good going. Oh, oh, sorry, Prof. That was absolute. I'm not laughing at you, Prof. I'm not. I swear, I'm not laughing at you. As Prof does finally get going in a straight line after having a disaster class. It's so different. I laugh, but it's so difficult to get the car in a straight line when you've got gravel on them and they're overheated. It really is. Through the final turn, these guys go, and look, they're going to be 3 wide now, because Ginge and AJ are all going to be all over the back of Chuckle. And look at this, 3 deep into turn 1. Are they going to anyone make a move? I think AJ's going to back out of it. Why is he so on those tyres? Matty and Phil swapping position further back. What's happened there? Because Matty's dropped a couple of positions, I'm not sure. But we're going to stick with these guys for the minute, because now Ginge is in P2. Chuckle will come back at him round the outside. Is he going to be able to make a move? Oh, that's a beautiful move from the Williams of Paul down the inside of AJ behind, and they're going to be side by side into this right-hander, and AJ swoops around the outside. Amazing stuff from the pair of them. Fantastic racing. But yeah, Matty Jones has dropped back, so I'm not sure whether he's made a mistake that I missed at some point. Because he was fighting on the back of Paul, I'm sure he was not long ago. But yeah, it's a great racing from these guys. Absolutely fantastic to see. And we're watching Aki follow the Alpine of Creepsa. Aki, after a spin earlier, making good progress back up through the field, and he's being held up by this Alpine at the moment. He will get DRS here. Not a very long straight, but it may be enough to do that, as Phil's and Matty go side by side, and yeah, Matty manages to keep the position for now, but there's going to be another DRS zone. And I think Phils might have a go back at him, but we're going to go back once again with the leading pair, and let's ride on board with Ginge as we look back to Chuckle, who's going to make a move, and there goes AJ as well. Look how ridiculous that DRS is. It's absolutely insane. And Chuckle and AJ going to go side by side. Oh, Ginge is coming back at AJ on the brakes around the outside. That'll be a good move. A little bit of a wiggle, and it's going to compromise his exit. And AJ swoops past, and now his teammate Paul is coming through on Ginge, and they're going to be side by side into turn 4 they go. And that's Paul on the outside, Ginge on the inside, and Ginge has the move made once again. And they really don't want to clash those two. That would not end well for them. But the hard compound tyres for AJ working beautifully for him at this moment. Oh, a little bit of a squiggle there from Paul. Bugatti had to take avoiding action, but all good. AJ's all over the back of Chuckle. And I think... AJ! Oh, he's had a little rear end. He had to get out the brakes a little bit because he nearly went into the back of Chuckle. And then Ginge did go into the back of him. And I think they've possibly got away with that. No damage, no incidents, all good. But look how close these guys are running. It is absolutely insane. They are nose to tail, pushing each other through this lap. It's great to see. Williams teammates, no team orders here. I think it's going to be inevitable here for AJ. For certain. As he looks to get a good exit onto the start-finish straight. And look, he's already up behind Chuckle, and the DRS so incredibly powerful. Chuckle does not stand a chance, and AJ makes it a Mercedes 1-2 in the Bahrain Grand Prix on lap 9 of Rtg Mondays. Chuckle gets a little bit of a bad exit, but so did Ginge by the looks of it. And I think they had a bit of a wiggle on as Looney Man and Otto Street going side by side. There's a bit of contact there from Otto Street, who shoves Looney Man off to one side, and that's going to allow Chuck a run around the outside. There's a McLaren and a Ferrari of Matty Jones and Phil's in the foreground fighting it out, and Chuck just about, is he going to be able to make this move stick round the outside? They're still going to be side by side as they go in here. What a great racing, and Chuck swoops around the outside and gets the position finally, but Looney Man is having none of it and coming back at him into the hairpin. This is great stuff from these two, fighting as hard as they can get, but neither willing to give any inches of leeway. And Ginge, has to be said, struggling a little bit. He's just teetering on the edge of that 1 second gap to Chuckle. I think perhaps AJ now has gotten to the lead. Those hard tyres really coming into their own, and he's starting to really ramp up the lap times and ramp up the pressure for these guys, because you see Bugatti's been dropped at the back of the end, and Ginge holding on for now. But I think Chuckle's going to have a go back at AJ. This DRS being silly strong. And there it goes. And no longer is it a Mercedes 1-2. As Paul gets past his teammate as well. And perhaps Paul can go chasing after third and second. Into turn into the end of the first sector they go, down into the hairpin. Once again a nice train. We'll see a few Chuck very close to the back of Otto. And also Freepsa and Aki running line of stand. King's on very close to the back of Royal Rumble there on the brakes. He took a lot more speed into the hairpin than the AlphaTauri. I must admit, Kingsholm matching the colours on his helmet very nicely with the McLaren blue, and I've got a lot of time for that. And I think that looks incredibly good. As Chuck manages to make a move on Otto Street for the points positions, and that's a good recovery so far from Chuck to get up into the points after his spin earlier on, and I'm sure he's going to be pleased with how things are going. He's going to struggle though now, because he will be vulnerable with the DRS. Speaking of which, how's AJ looking? The DRS flap opens, and I think he's going to be ahead by the time they get to turn 1. But Chuckle's making a bit of a fight of it. He's going to defend to the inside this time. He thinks he can hold it. But AJ's going to go around the outside. A little wiggle from Chuckle, and that could leave him vulnerable from Paul here, who gets a brilliant, brilliant exit. But Chuckle just enough. And they both have DRS obviously off AJ. And Chuckle holds on for another lap. But his eagerness to defend hard from AJ, potentially costing him a little bit and nearly costing him a place. Paul looking very, very strong. Just going to do a bit of a onboard riding shot backwards of AJ at the back of this train. Bugatti has caught up to the back of this train. Perhaps the battling obviously slowing them down somewhat. And look at that DRS. So powerful. Too powerful. It doesn't help the racing somewhat. Chuckle every bit holding AJ through these higher speed corners. Looks like he's got a nice setup in that Haas. And out the last corner, AJ will go. I think Chuckle has a little bit more grip and perhaps left out. Oh, yeah. And he's going to go to the inside. AJ's not going to fight it, and through the house goes. I think that's all he's going to lose, just a one. As Paul now sits behind. Phils now makes a move on Matty Jones, and this is what I mean, because even if there's contact, Phils does not leave Matty any room whatsoever. That was very naughty from the McLaren, pushing the Ferrari off the track, and that is not the sort of racing we like to see in this league. And I'm sure Matty might be sending that one to the stewards room. There was no room left on the outside, and I think Phils has realised that, and credit where credit is due. He has then conceded the position to Matty, and I take my hat off to him for that. I think he realised he made a bit of an error, perhaps. As we go into the middle sector with the lead impact once again. Josh McGill got a ridiculous lead. These guys fighting with DRS, it just slows you down. The DRS is so powerful, you can't break DRS to anyone. But then it just slows you down. And, yeah. Not good things. Not good things to say about the DRS on this game. I think it absolutely ruins league racing. I really do. I think we're seeing the effects of it. If you're in a DRS train, you're going to slow each other down, but you're going to pull away from the guys behind. And it's just packs. And that's what you can see. Look at the track map. It's packs of people in DRS trains that just keep overtaking each other lap after lap. And if you're not in a pack, you just can't keep up with that, really, if you're behind. Or if you're ahead, it then allows you to get ahead, as daft as it sounds, because they're all fighting. It's a bit of a strange one, really, but yeah. Zaki and Looney Man now decide to come into the pits. The first proper pit stops we're seeing tonight for strategy. Obviously, everyone pitting up to now is because of a spin or damage. There's Danny and Chuck now trading positions. Danny's got the move made on Chuck, and Chuck had a lot more speed through turn 4 there, and had to get out the throttle very much so. And Chuck looking like he's got a little more speed through the hairpin too. As when we go, and that's a yellow flag in sector 3. I think that's Flea who's going for a sightseeing tour of the desert of Bahrain. There's the leading pack come up behind the Red Bull now, and I wonder if that AJ's just managed to just get away from the DRS. How's that giving him DRS, you know? No, I thought you might just have DRS, but we do see Chuckle and Ginge both going into the pits. Bugatti's carrying on, Paul's carrying on. AJ obviously is on those hards, but this could be a crucial stage. This race, Paul will get DRS off of the back marker of Flea as well, so that will help him pull up to the back of AJ, and he really needs that because that could help him massively now, especially if he saved battery. That'd be ideal for him. We're going to keep an eye on Chuckle. Where's he come out? He is going to be behind Creepster. That is not good. Creepster gets a bit of a wiggle on. Chuckle really needs to make a move now. We're seeing Bugatti, though, has dropped it at turn 4, I think, and he is dropping position, conceding positions. Yeah, he's down with Chuck now, even, as Chuck decides to make a move around the outside of the Ferrari. That's a brilliant move. Round the outside of the hairpin there. Great stuff from Chuck. Amazing move. Paul hasn't quite been able to get in the DRS of AJ, and that's I'm sure very disappointing for him. But it is incredibly close. I think those hards just a bit too quick at the moment. As Chuckle does make a move past Creepster, but I tell you what, this is costing him time. And if Paul comes into the pits, he could get an overcut. AJ's coming in the pits as well. He knows he's going to go onto the mediums, I imagine. Paul's in the pits. What's AJ going? He's going on mediums, absolutely. And what's Paul on? He will be on hards, I imagine. Yes. There it is. And where are the guys they're racing? There is Chuckle. The guys are coming out the pit lane now. This could be really close. There they are. AJ stays ahead. I think Paul might be ahead marginally, but he's going to have cold tyres, and Chuckle swoops around the outside. So he did get the overcut on Chuckle, but those cold tyres just made the difference when side by side. And I think AJ now on the mediums has the advantage because he is ahead of these guys, and the mediums will warm up a lot better as well. And that's great stuff. Great stuff. I'm sure Paul's going to be a bit disappointed in that. I'm sure he would have liked to be ahead of Chuckle at that point. But yeah, great move from Chuckle to take advantage of those fresher tyres. Chuckle, he's got DRS on AJ. Is he going to make a move here? No, I don't think so. As we see our race leader that we haven't really seen much of, Josh McGill, will come into the pits. He's in no threat at the moment. He's got a very comfortable race win ahead of him. He just needs not to drop it at this point. Chuck chasing down Oslo Street at the moment. LGE all the way up in 5th, having not stopped, and that's going to give DRS to AJ. Which I'm sure Chuckle's not going to be happy about. But they are fighting for position, so not much we can do. As Chuck gets past Otto Street, and Otto, or somebody, don't know who that was, but AJ does get past, and Chuckle gets past as well round the outside of Kingsholm. So he's lost 2 positions in 1, but he is on much older tyres, so he's always going to struggle. Chuck and Otto go side by side, and Otto has a position made back again. Red Bull getting out of the way. Now as Paul and Kingsholm now go side by side, and Paul goes up the inside. That's a great move from him. And Ginge really needs to make the move as well on Kingsholm. Otherwise he could be left to hang out to dry here as he follows the McLaren through. Will he send one at the inside? He's very close to him on the brakes. He's going to get round on the how much more grip he has on those fresher tyres. It's so much, and he's just about within DRS range, and that is absolutely crucial. So I'm starting to get the sound glitch once again. Thank you, Codemasters, I appreciate that. We will not run on board because it sounds awful. Welcome back, F122. We have missed you. Matty sweeps around the outside. Amazing stuff from him. But let's keep an eye. AJ, what can he do? With Chuckle behind him, can he pull away in that DRS or not? Let's see. He's certainly not going to this time round. And Chuckle doing very well to stay with him as Fields gets past Mark Bow further back, much better tyres, but Mark Bow comes back at him by the looks of it. But Chuckle will go up. No, he won't go up the inside. Kingsholm's in the pits. And these two battling out, and Phil's will have the DRS, and we'll get the move made on a Red Bull. Great stuff, and I think Looney Man might want to have a go as well up the inside of Mark Bow here, and he certainly does. Sends it up the inside, and that's great racing there. Oh, there's a bit of a wiggle from Mark, and he's lost him the position to Danny as well, and that's unfortunate for him. Chuckle doing very, very well to stay with AJ here. Chuck and Otto still fighting it out for P2 at the moment, but obviously yet to pit. Lap 17 to 29. Josh McGill has an insurmountable lead that only a safety car would, or a mistake would really lose it. Ooh, that's a big wiggle there from Paul. That was a big wiggle there from Paul, and it's dropped him out of DRS range of Chuckle. Can he get back in it? Can he sneak it? I'm sure he's going to be using his battery deployment to do so, and it might end up dropping his teammate out of it. Josh McGill goes fast as that, no surprise there. And I tell you what, that might have dropped his teammate out of DRS because Paul has it, Ginge doesn't. As Chuck decides to pit, he's going to go for the undercut on Otto. Chuckle wisely deciding to stay behind AJ and just being towed along at this point in time. Chuck is going to go with the softs. That is a good idea from him. With 10 laps remaining, they will last. They will be a bit dead by the end, but they will last. There's an AlphaTauri nearly having a go at the inside of somebody into turn one. Back with these guys once again though, as AJ leads them away. He is caught up to Otto, and this could be interesting if AJ gets this right. I think if AJ gets past him now into the next turn and Chuckle doesn't, I think then AJ needs to make sure that Otto is in DRS down the main straight, and that is exactly what AJ is going to do in here. And now he needs to make sure Chuckle stays behind Otto straight down the start-finish straight. So AJ really wants to make sure Otto has DRS. So let's keep an eye on these guys. Chuckle will want to make a move as soon as he can. So we've got a terrible camera angle there, but I think Chuckle's managed to make the move past Otto, and that is very, very nicely done indeed. That could have been an opportunity for AJ, potentially. I mean, he is still 8 tenths ahead, so he's probably going to use his battery to continue to get that awful sound glitch. Otto gets himself a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. He's taken too many liberties going into that, and that is a massive gain from Chuckle in DRS, which has seen him back under the wing of AJ. And AJ not quite getting an opportunity to break DRS there. So difficult to do so. Even if you've got fresher tyres and are the quicker driver, it's a really, really difficult thing to do. That DRS just too powerful. And look at it, you know, Ginge 3 seconds nearly behind his teammate in a few laps. That DRS just costing so much time. And apologies about the sound, blame Codemasters. I'm frustrated with them as much as you are, because that sounds awful. It really does. But yeah, AJ just not able to break that DRS. It's just nothing he can do. Danny gets himself a 5-second penalty for overtaking Looney Man. That's interesting. That will be one in the stewards, no doubt. As Otto gets past Mark. Otto having just pitted for fresh softs, but been massively undercut by Chuck, who come out in P12, but on brand new softs. He is all over these guys ahead, all over the back of Looney Man. I'm sure he's going to be making quick work of a lot of them. Look at the extra speed that he's carrying through there, and this will be a move made. No, he's going to back out. No, he is going to go down the inside. Oh, that was close. That was very, very close. As yeah, Looney Man looks like he has better straight line speed. Chackle and AJ are going to go side by side further up, but we're going to stick back with these two because it's going to be a drag all the way down to turn 1. This is a lot harder for Chuck than he first anticipated. Looney Man is not going to give up the position, but he is forced to in the end. That superior grip from Chuck, just able to get him on the brakes later and into the kind of quicker. And yeah, AJ and Chuck are going side by side. That looked like a mistake possibly from AJ on the exit. Didn't quite catch that. That's a yellow flag in sector 2. That looks like it's Prof who's had another spin. He's had a dismal evening once again. Just not gone his way, unfortunately. But yeah, now Chuckle up into P2 once again. And yes, it allowed Josh McGill to really run away with it. 16 seconds nearly is that gap. Absolutely incredible. As Chuck makes a move past Creepser as well, a little further behind, and he's dispatching that queue. And I think certainly P8 is on the cards for Chuck. As Looney Man now gets past Creepser as well, further back. But AJ is now going to have a chance at Chuckle into turn 1. And into turn 1 he goes down the inside, and he has that move made. But will Chuckle have a go back at him with the DRS into turn 4? We shall wait and see. He is very close behind him. AJ going very defensive, trying to weave to get out of the slipstream. Chuckle will look to go at the inside. AJ will try and stick it around the outside, and he goes very deep onto the marbles, and that's going to cost him because, yeah, it really has cost him. But he's going to continue to go around the outside. That's a great move there. That is, as Paul now looks to take advantage of that, but can't quite do so. And what a battle this is turning out to be. We've got a yellow in sector 1. That's a McLaren. Not sure who that is. As Chuck gets past Danny as well, further in the background. Chuck making light work of these guys. And now on the back of Royal Rumble. And looking to make further positions and gains. As HA's had a little bit of a wiggle. And yeah, Chuckle going to try and go around hold it around the outside, but can't quite. Oh, there's a safety car. That is a safety car. What was that for? I do not know. I do not know what had happened. Josh McGill is going to be absolutely fuming. He comes immediately into the pits, reacts instantly to it, and that is a set of softs. That was very, very quick thinking from the Mercedes driver, because otherwise he would have picked up the safety car. And if anyone pitted behind, yes, they will do. That was incredibly quick thinking for Josh McGill, and I think has saved him in this race. Absolutely hats off to the Mercedes driver. He really had a split second to react, and he did so and made the right call. So it looks like it's going to be a sprint to the finish. We've gone all race without a safety car, despite many incidents and spins and accidents. Yet we get nothing happen at all, and a safety car comes out. Absolutely amazing. As yeah, a few people pitting. Chuck also comes in the pits as well. That's an interesting choice. He was on softs already, but I suppose it makes sense really. To be honest. Yeah, he only lost one position out of doing so, but got brand new tyres. There's some fighting for position going on. There we can see. I'm not sure what's going on there. Josh McGill, is Massey the race director? Yeah, I do wonder. That was it was a very anti-Mercedes move, it has to be said. It was a bit of a stranger on that. I have no idea why that safety car came out. I think I saw a McLaren spin, but that was about it. And that was before it kind of happened anyway, I thought. So I don't really know why that's come out. It's I mean, AJ is going to be a brilliant rear gunner here for Josh, though. So I don't think Josh has too much to worry about. He's got the pace, quite clearly. AJ is on the medium tyres. He's not put on a set of softs. So whether he didn't have a brand new set of softs or whether he just clicked the wrong button or the game screwed him over, we will not know. But he has gone onto the mediums, whereas everyone else is onto the softs. Otto might be in trouble. He has gained positions via that, not pitting, but he is on a lot older softs, and it's surprising how much difference that makes. So he could be in a little bit of trouble. But yeah, that's so I think AJ could work as a really, really good rear gunner for Josh here. I think he just needs to keep his head down, go for a nice restart, and then just power away, just put his head down, get on with it, and I think he's my money's still on Josh here every second of the way. But there is a lot of hungry drivers in behind with a lot of opportunities to get. I hope everyone's going to be nice and clean and fair on the restart, because this has the potential to get messy. Because we're waiting for everyone to catch up. Flea's been overtaken. Prof has been lapped. Kingsholm is the one driver we're waiting for. He's just pitted for a fresh set of softs and is on his way to catching up. And round he goes. And I think because Kingsholm isn't caught up, I don't think we're going to see a safety car in this lap. I think we should do, though, because look at the gap now. By the time it goes in now, the whole pack's going to slow up. Kingsholm will catch up by the line easily. So why isn't the safety car coming in? I have to question the logic of this game. But there we go. Onwards we go. We will take this opportunity, I think, to see who's gained what positions at the start. Otto with the biggest gainer there. But like I said, he hasn't actually pitted, whereas a lot of guys around him have. So I expect him to drop a few. Prof has got a penalty for spinning in pit lane. That looks like it's probably going to be a retirement, I imagine. Yes, that is a retirement. As LG comes into the pits again. And I don't blame him. Get on a brand new set of softs. And join the back of the grid. And he'll easily catch up this time. And that gives him a bit of good advantage over the rest of the field. It's a very clever call from Kingsholm there. As the AI of Prof's car drives out of the pits for utterly no reason. Just to park on the side of the track. Absolutely genius there. But yeah, it's Mercedes 1 and 2 in Bahrain. Who would have predicted that? It's been a cracking race from Josh McGill and AJ so far. Can they hold on to this though? It's going to be a tough one for AJ, I think. But absolutely got every chance to do so. Going to get back up the tyre graphic so everyone can see. That's it. Actually, we're just going to get rid of that. We know what tyres everyone's on. Everyone's on softs except AJ. It's easy. Expecting to see the call. There it is. And now Josh McGill becomes your safety car leader. And he dictates the pace. He can go whenever he likes. Once he goes, he cannot slow down again. He needs to go, but he cannot overtake the safety car. So he needs to wait until the safety car basically comes into the pits. Once it is, then he can go at any point. The safety car's about to go in now, so I think he's good to go anytime he wants. And there he certainly does. He goes nice and early. That is a very early call, and I like to see it. And it's his teammate's gone with him fairly well, actually. He has dropped a little bit, but he has gone with him, and a little bit of weaving to try and break the slipstream. Again, really, really powerful in this game. But good restart there from Josh, but a very nice follow-up from AJ, while Chuckle decides to go down the inside of the Mercedes on those fresher tyres. Flea has come in the pits and retired, and that is Great Guy Racing. Chuckle onto the curbing, and AJ's lost the position, and now Josh McGill does not have his rear gunner in place, which is not ideal from him. AJ's going to try and fight it back a little bit, and this could cost both of them time, which could help Josh McGill even more. But now Chuckle into P2, and he's going to set his sights on P1 of Josh McGill, who's only just up the road. He's been leading this race by so much for so long, and now he's only 1.6 seconds up the road. Can Chuckle do anything about this, or has Josh McGill got too much pace in him for anyone to do anything about? At the moment, that gap is going up, so I think Josh McGill has the measure. As things stand, he's gained so much on the braking in the traction zones there, and that is where he's getting away, and he certainly is. He continues to get away, even through the fast S-bends. He's managing to keep a good pace, and he's just extending that gap back out, and I think he may well have this in the bag. He just needs to be careful not to get a track limits penalty and not to make a mistake, because he is that much closer to everyone else. Otto is struggling to keep up already, and that could leave him very, very vulnerable. Matty is all over the back of Ginge. He's looking a bit racy now, up in P7, and hopefully making amends for the earlier mistakes. Josh McGill fastest lap, no surprise there on the brand new soft side. He's exactly what I would expect to see, but they're all pretty close further up. Paul is going to be very close to AJ now, going into turn 1. He's going to make the move, and he certainly does at the inside. AJ tries and holds it around the outside. They're still going to be side by side. It's going to be the outside for the Williams, inside for the Mercedes. There's a bit of curbing from Paul, and AJ manages to get on the power a lot better, and through he goes, and just about clinging on to that lead, and that's going to allow Chuckle now to extend his gap out on those softs, and he certainly does. Josh McGill still pulling that lead out though, and absolutely flying away with it. Otto also having that penalty, so that's going to cost him massively, and that is going to cost him even more as he goes for a little bit of a wonder. What penalty? He's got 5 seconds. Why didn't he stop? That is one of the biggest cock-ups I've ever seen. He had the chance to stop for brand new softs and get rid of his penalty, and he chose not to. Crazy. Anyway, and away we go once again, and Phils is under attack from Royal Rumble as Prof leaves the session. He's had not a great evening at all. Ended with retirement in the pit lane a couple of laps ago. Matty's still all over the back of Ginge, but he just can't find a way past at the moment. But he certainly looks like he's got more pace at the moment. They're all over the back of Otto, it has to be said. And Matty very, very close still to the Willie. Oh, there's a send from Ginge at the inside. I think Otto braked incredibly early, and it caught Ginge out, and that's dropped him behind Matty. And now Matty's going to get a run on the Alpine, but the Alpine looks like it's running very slippery wings indeed. It's going to be difficult. Matty maybe sends it to the inside, but Otto brakes incredibly late this time. Matty going to take the inside. He's got fresher tyres. A big wobble of oversteer, and he blocks the exit off for Ginge as well, so at least he's not lost a position. But Matty, I'm sure, going to be a bit disappointed that he couldn't make that move. As we see now, the McLaren fills up the inside of Chuck, and Chuck gives him plenty of room and swoops around the outside, and he's got held on to that position for now. That's good racing from the pair of them. Kingsholm gets past Mark Bow as well, and that's a good battle too. And Kingsholm up to P15 with those fresher tyres, stopping on the last lap of the safety car, paying dividends for him, giving him that extra advantage, and that's great stuff to see. Matty now all over the back of Otto, and DRS, is he going to be close enough to make a move? I think so. The DRS so powerful, even down the short straight, it's going to give him the chance, and it certainly does, but it may leave him vulnerable going down into turn 1 yet, especially if Otto's running very slippery wings, and Matty needs to absolutely bolt now, and he hasn't got much battery. Neither does Otto have that much. Ginge has a lot more than either of them, it has to be said. So this could be an interesting one to see how it pays off. Paul still behind AJ, hasn't been able to make the move yet. Those mediums starting to phase in a bit nicer, and Paul literally stuck behind, I think, and he's going to be disappointed with that. He really wants that podium, but we'll go back with Otto, who's being overtaken by Ginge, as Ginge now makes the move past him, and they're going to be chasing down Matty, but they're not close enough into turn one to make a move, and Ginge just settles in behind, but he's up to P6 and behind the Ferrari, which is exactly where he needs to be. Matty gets a big snap of oversteer yet again on the exit, and Paul is going up the inside of AJ. He's got that move made finally into turn 4 and up onto the podium. The Williams goes, and I'm sure he's going to be very happy with that, and AJ absolutely gutting. Royal Rumble gets past Phil's with a nice move also in the background, and I can't keep up with it all because there's so much going on. As Paul now defending from AJ, and I do wonder if AJ's going to want to have a go back at him at some point here. As AJ taking the esports line, going into that corner. He can still do it on this go. Quite comfortably riding the curves. Paul using all of the track there. But just can't shake this Mercedes off. I think the medium's really coming into their own now, and it's very like for like in terms of pace. The softs and the mediums giving very, very similar levels of grip. But we are on to the last lap with Josh McGill, who's pulled a 4-second gap, and AJ now going up the inside of Paul, who has nothing left to fight with down that straight. That DRS just being incredibly powerful, but can he have an opportunity to make it back? I think he's going to certainly give it a go. He's going to be right behind AJ, and we're going to go off board again because that is awful, that sound glitch. It really is. As Phils now gets past Bugatti Sloven. And on the back of Royal Rumble, can he make a move? Royal Rumble defending to the inside. Good defending from the AlphaTauri, and he's managed to hold the position. We have a yellow flag instead of one that is Creepster, who has gone around but still going in the race, so that's good. But Josh McGill coming into turn 10, he is running away with it yet again. Just got too much pace. Chuckle comfortably in P2. I'm sure you didn't expect that, but that is what he got in the end. AJ and Paul fighting it out, and I think there's very little chances for Paul to make a move back fast now, and he hasn't got much battery either, so I don't think there's going to be much he can do. Aki going to get past Bugatti in the background, and that's a move made, not quite into the points, but he's going to be very close to the points. We are going to go back with the race leader, Josh McGill, though, in the Mercedes, and I don't think anyone can argue a more deserved winner of the day. Kingston will get a penalty. Josh McGill is already celebrating. He knows he's got this in the bag. Josh McGill wins round 2 in Bahrain. Chuckle will come home to finish in P2. I'm sure he's going to be happy with that. AJ takes P3 and the last spot on the podium. Paul Jones just missing out. Matty Jones a good recovery to 5th in the end. Ginge perhaps slightly disappointing in 6th. Otto will cross the line, but he will get a penalty, so that promotes Chuck to 7th, which is a brilliant comeback from his spin. And I'm sure he's going to be very happy with that too. Royal Rumble in 8th, Phil's in 9th, Aki in 10th. And wow, what a race. What a race. Aki does get a point position thanks to penalties in the end. Unbelievable. Unbelievable drive. AJ just sneaking that podium. He did very well on those mediums, but I think it cost him a P2 in the end. Driver of the day, apparently Otto Street, but I am torn between two people for driver of the day. If you are watching, do comment who you think should be driver of the day. We'll see if it tallies up with my suggestion in a minute. But yeah, 2 Mercedes on the podium. That's a great result for them, and I'm sure they're going to take the go into the lead of the constructors and pull a healthy lead as well with that point. So a great result from them, and they're looking unstoppable at this point in time. That's the way they go, celebrating away, having a nice drink. You can't drink a bottle one-handed like that. Unreal. Josh McGill wins the race, takes fastest lap on his way. Chuckle takes P2. AJ rounds out the podium. Paul in P4. Matthew Jones P5. Good recovery in the end. Ginge P6. Chuck P7. Royal Rumble P8. Phil P9. Aki in P10. And now I was torn between two. Josh Miguel being one option for driver of the day because he has just driven supremely up front. But I am going to give it to somebody who I think has shown a lot of gutsy determination. They had a spin on lap 1, but they didn't give up. They put their car back straight again. They carried on going. They fought through. They were looking good for a points position when the safety car came out, and it allowed them an opportunity to gain even more positions, and that is exactly what they took their chance on, and it worked out a treat for them. P7 in the end for Chuck, and driver of the day in my mind. And thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Once again, I can't wait. Hopefully you can join me again next week. It's for round 3. It's been an absolutely fantastic race as always. But until then, good night.